Chances are our next guest has made you laugh a lot. Gary Janetti was Emmy nominated for his work as a writer and producer of Will and Grace and The Family Guy, and maybe you're one of the million people who follow his Instagram and his hilarious satire on Prince George and the royal family. He is also a New York Times bestselling author, and his most recent book, Start Without Me, I'll be there in a minute, is a collection of real-life, funny stories and some really great life advice as well. And he is in Toronto for a show fittingly at the Queen Elizabeth Theatre. I'm so excited to welcome Gary to the studio. Welcome and good morning.
Hi, Anne-Marie. Thanks for having me.
I am so happy to see you in person because I follow you a lot on Instagram. Have you always had this natural ability to make people laugh? And when did you realize, like, you weren't just funny, but, like, I could be a professional funny?
Yeah, you know, I actually didn't even think I was funny, to tell you the truth. Yeah, I'm still not quite sure if I am or not.
You're funny.
But, you know, yeah, I take it day by day. No, I just, you know, I was always observing people, I guess. I was a really quiet, shy kid. And I moved to LA to be a writer, but not even a comedy writer. I just thought writers can write, you know, whatever, you know, comedy, drama, everything. But I gravitated towards comedy because that's what I always liked. And then once I started doing it, I was like, oh, I kind of, like, this is kind of clicking for me.
Yeah, and it really, really works. You know, whether you're posting live from the writer's strike or on your travels, there's always some good humor in there. I also like what you've written about teenagers. I'm going to quote you.
Okay, what have I written?
Here's what you've written. Teenagers frighten me. I will cross the street to avoid a gathering of more than two. Head down as quickly as I shuffle by. My time to have a child is past. I mean, it would be nice to have one for Instagram, but otherwise, I am good. So I have three 16-year-olds. I have a set of triplets. Yeah. So more than two. Any advice or just like thoughts and prayers for parents and teens?
Yeah, you know, don't get them mad at you. You know, try to get them to like you. Try to be cool. Don't embarrass them, whatever you do. You know, yeah, stay out of their way.
Yeah.
Don't go in their room. Okay. That's my advice.
Okay, that's terrible advice. You also have a chapter for advice for grads, and this one I really love so much. You write about checking in on friends, picking people who value you, and not being afraid of being alone. And this is what you wrote. Don't ever not do anything because you're afraid of failing. Failing is fine. I used to be terrified of it. It's actually not a big deal and sometimes a relief. So when did you realize that?
Yeah, I think, you know, we put so much pressure on ourselves, especially a lot of times in careers, and we have this expectation that you can never fail, and failing is like the worst thing that can happen. But then it kind of prevents you from doing things because you're actually afraid of failing. So you kind of shy away from doing things that, you know, you're afraid of. But when you fail, that's kind of like, it's kind of like you think the worst thing in the world is going to happen. And then it's like, okay, it doesn't happen. And you learn from it and you pick yourself up and you kind of go on and stuff.
I think
career-wise, I failed at a lot of things. I have a lot of failed pilots, a lot of things, a lot of jokes don't land. You know, you have to, you just have to kind of keep going. And I always thought these things would be like, oh my God, if this doesn't go, or if this doesn't work, or if I fail at this, you know, the world will end. It'll be this crushing humiliation. And then sometimes it's just like the worst happened and now I can get past it.
Yeah.
You know?
You know, teens suffer with a lot of anxiety, and a lot of anxiety is just fearing what might happen.
Yeah, I agree.
And take the fear out of the failing. And
yeah. And it's kind of, and nobody ever told me that. It was a thing that it's okay to actually fail, and it's actually part of life and what's supposed to happen, and it's how we learn. It's how we know we've succeeded.
Yes.
Because we've had to fail, and it makes succeeding, you know, that much more sweet and hard-won.
We share this fascination with the royals and the royal family in particular. So when I was over covering King Charles' coronation in May, your Instagram posts were a go-to for me. And in fact, I DM'd you and said, I'm here doing coverage for the coronation.
I love that.
Yours is better, because you made me laugh so hard. What sparked your interest in the royals?
You know, it's funny, I'm not actually even interested in them. It's just so weird.
How can you say that? You have an HBO show.
I know. Well, not anymore. The royal family wasn't too happy about that show, so yeah.
Which means you did a good job.
Thank you. I think so, too. You know, I just saw a photo of Prince George one day on his way to school, and he had such an attitude, you know, in his expression, so I thought, oh, I could write a caption to go with that attitude. And I started doing memes of it on Instagram and giving him kind of a personality, and then it kind of stretched out from the royal family to all of them. But was just something, I was just kind of being silly, and it was just in my head of what I was imagining, but it was no way from an actual interest in the royal family. I actually didn't know who a lot of them were until I started doing it.
Okay. I want to get to something else that you are known for to your fans and followers. That is the testing of the blueberry muffins.
Yeah, the blueberry muffins.
So you do real life critiques, and
I do.
This is Brad, your partner, and I'm going to show you mine because my husband Daryl made these for you. And what we want you to do on air is give me your honest critique of Daryl's blueberry muffins. We have about 30
Which
seconds.
camera should I look into for Daryl?
Camera 3.
Daryl, first of all, thank you so much. How kind of you to make blueberry muffins. I am not going to lie, I'm worried, Daryl, just from looking at them right here. Okay, they're petite, they're very small, which, and I don't know if they're cooked enough on top, but they're very white, and the blueberries are just sitting on the top.
Can we cut it open?
I'm a little concerned, but I'm gonna pick one, yes. Okay, let's go.
Here's your knife.
Here we go. I know, we're live TV. I'm vamping, okay.
Okay. What do you think?
Canada, can you see me? There we go. It's not terrible. This section, there are no blueberries, so that's problematic, Daryl. There should be blueberries in every section.
Take a quick bite and let me know, Gary.
Is he a good husband?
He's a great husband.
And a good dad?
Yeah,
well, then that's all that matters.
Okay. There you go, Canada. All right, Gary, thanks for being here. We will be right back. You need a glass of water.
Hey, thanks for watching. If you liked this, be sure to subscribe here, or you can check out more Your Morning videos right here.